Very warm welcome from the Qatar Peninsula. We're at the Lusail International Circuit near the capital city of Doha. In a few moments, we'll move to the main straight to watch the start of the MotoGP race. The cameras take us to the starting grid, where riders and engineers are discussing those final details. The sun has set over the Qatar desert, and the sand brought onto the track by the wind will make it difficult for riders to get good grip during the early stages of the race. Temperatures have dropped considerably compared to this afternoon, so many teams have opted for soft tyres. Exciting lap complete. It's important to have warmed up the tyres or they could have problems on turns 2 and 6. All eyes on the lights now. Everything's ready for the start of the Qatar Grand Prix.
Lights out, and we are racing this crucial Qatar Grand Prix. Martin missed the start. He got massive wheel spin on the Prima Pana Ducati. He's under pressure here from QUARTARARO and from Bezzecchi, and Bagnaia has made the dream launch. It was a horror show for Martin, as he feared, off the line. Martin's going to come through the first sector. He's down in the 8th or 9th place. A shocker for the man second in the standings. Here is Jorge Martin, look at that, he lights up the rear tyre. His motorcycle, that Ducati, well, it pivoted right, it pivoted left, just no momentum, no drive grip whatsoever. Oh, listen to that as he just got massive wheel spin, trying to throw 300 horsepower through that Michelin rear tyre, and they know it could not have got off to a worse start, as Martin already in early recovery mode here.
Oh, here's a rematch of yesterday as Binder barges past Marc Marquez once again. They make contact in the sprint yesterday. Binder has got a good start away. He started from 10th on the grid. He's now up into 5th place.
Vignale is now creeping all over the rear tyre of Martini, who can't go with Zarco at the moment. Mechanic Zarco through the first sector is nearly 7/10 ahead of Martin, who's right. That was Zarco. That was Zarco. Now that is a big bonus. That is a big plus for Martin. That's one position gain. Didn't even have to fight for it. Antonio now on the inside, really toughing it out with Alex Marquez. The two Gresini Ducatis exchanging at least the same paintwork, and it's Digia that's now back up into P3. 23 points would be a huge advantage, wouldn't it, for Bagnaia to take into the final round decider in Valencia. Just 37 points left to fight for after tonight's Qatar Grand Prix, as Martin trying to limit the damage here, surely with the top speed horsepower advantage that the Ducati, as Marc Marquez said last night, in this very situation, down the 6-gear start-finish straight, he was a sitting duck, and here he goes again. Nothing that Marquez can do about that. The speed differential is, for want of a better word, embarrassing between the Honda and the Ducati. Martin just eases on through, absolutely powerless there was Marquez. Nothing he could do about that whatsoever.
Antonio feels he's got the pace and the potential to win this Grand Prix, and he's leading up to it at the moment. Bagnaia did a 53.6 last time around versus a 53.3 for Antonio, so Bagnaia and his group are getting away from Martin, but Bagnaia's not exactly running away with this.
That's Digia getting aggressive on the inside of Luca Marini, properly picks up the pole man, and now he could lose third place as well as he comes into the clutches of Alex Marquez. So the Gian Antonio is getting his elbows out here, isn't he? Getting the gloves off as he tries to hunt down Pecco Bagnaia, of course, desperate for a first Grand Prix victory to try and show that he's worthy of a full-time ride in 2024, but how much risk will the Gian Antonio take, and will Ducati just maybe impose some team orders just to say, please do not pass Pecco Bagnaia? That will all play out over the next few laps or so.
Well, Alex Marquez is certainly trying to get involved with Luca Marini, and that might open the door for Brad Binder, who are riding on pole with now, to move through into 4th place. The problem Ducati have got on that one is they're in a bit of a difficult position, because of course it's another Ducati rider who's fighting for the World Championship, so I'm sure Ducati don't want to be seen to be playing favourites in this title battle. Martin's got to try and do it for himself. Currently on this lap, he is closing in on that group ahead of him. He started 1.6 seconds behind the 5th rider in this group, which is now Marini. It's now down to 1.3 seconds.
Yeah, Marini, unfortunately, at this stage, not up to the task of acting as wingman for his great mate Pecco Bagnaia. That was a tough lap, a tough 5th lap here for Marini. He dropped from 2nd place. The Gian Antonio, Marquez and Binder were able to find a way through. Now here comes Brad Binder, a 2nd in the Grand Prix here last year. That is tight, there's not much room there, but Binder found it. He had to be millimetre perfect there, and he certainly was. A South African then now up into 3rd place. Another podium beckons here for KTM in Qatar. Maybe even better as they chase that elusive first win in over 2 years. Marquez is doing a phenomenal job here. There's confirmation that Aleix Espargaro has retired. We'll find out whether it was physical or technical, I'm sure, very, very quickly. What a job, though, Marquez is doing. Picking a fight with a gaggle of Ducatis, which is really tough, although he might succumb here to the factory Aprilia of Maverick Vinales, comfortably the leading light for the under-fired Japanese manufacturers. Marquez 7th, next best for the Japanese brands is Fabio QUARTARARO in 11th, who's just starting to find his pace at the moment. QUARTARARO's previous lap was a 153.737, best time of his Grand Prix so far, as Bagnaia O-line to start lap 8 at 22, nearly half a second clear of the Gian Antonio.
Look how late Marquez was on the brakes there, almost too late there, as Vinales almost gets to the inside of him, as Marquez takes a late apex, having braked so late into turn number 1. Not a lot to choose between Bagnaia and Gian Antonio, and they were actually a couple of times slower than Binder and Marquez up behind them, are beginning to bring themselves back into play again with that top 2. Marini also in the 53s, and he was quicker than this group behind him last time round. Jorge Martin did a 53.8, slower than everyone ahead of him.
He lights up the rear tyre. Imagine being in Martin's position right now. You can see Bagnaia sailing off at the front, and you keep coming over the finish line and seeing +0.93 on your pit wall, which is a scenario which has caused several star riders in MotoGP down the years some major headaches. Back at the front, Bagnaia is just about keeping the Gian Antonio at arm's length, but this sort of early 3rd pace of the Gian Antonio does bode well. He said last night to the media, if he's in the game, if he's in the hunt at half race distance, he feels like he's got a cracking chance of the victory here in Qatar.
If he continues like this, it will be difficult for his rivals to keep up with him. When QUARTARARO is having a good day, he shows us some wonderful skills. But today wasn't just beautiful, it was spectacular. This lad has earned the right to stand on the top step of the podium and celebrate victory.